In the previous videos, I showed you how to go in and add images and how to manipulate and edit your images, and also how to go in and work with text. So right now I want to show you some of the other things that we could go in that we can add. So I'm going to go down here to the bottom left hand corner where there's that little plus sign, and I'm just going to touch that plus sign. I want to add a blank slide. So now that I have that blank slide, I'm going to go up to the top, and there's that plus sign up here. I'm just going to touch that because I'm going to show you how to add tables, charts, and shapes. So I'm going to select tables, and I can actually scroll through here and find some different themes. The color choices that are available for the tables, charts, and shapes are going to be based off of the theme that you chose when you initially went in to create your presentation. So I'm just going to select the table like this, and you'll see once that table goes in place, I can now touch some of these areas here, and I can now move around and hit different cells. If I double tap that cell, I can now enter information in there. It pulls up my keyboard. If I touch this little circle up here in the top left hand corner right there, that will allow me to move it around so I can relocate it on my graph or on my area here. I could go in down here at the bottom where there's that little green or little blue dot. I can drag that to make my chart bigger or smaller, or I could stretch it this way or stretch it this way depending on where I'm touching in these dots here. If I need to add more rows or columns, there are little icons here. I'm just going to touch that, and I can add or delete and change the numbers available. And I could do that down in the bottom left hand corner as well. So that's pretty much how you could go in. You could add a chart. I'm going to touch down here in the bottom left hand corner, add another blank page. I'm going to go back up top to add medium, and I'm going to select chart. You could do 2D or 3D. I like 3D, it has a nice effect. And we're just going to do a 3D. Now, one of the things that's different about this chart here is you'll see there's this kind of two arrows here. That allows you to rotate the chart three-dimensionally just by dragging that around with your finger. I can resize by grabbing those handles, those little blue dots around the corners here. I can double tap the chart or single tap the chart to get the cut, copy, delete. I could edit data from here. So I could go in and actually update this and change it if I need to. 2007, I could change my numbers. I can add areas if I need to. Select done. And then I can also go up, once I have that selected, if I go up top to my format painter, again, context specific, it allows me to take a look and I can change the look and feel of it. So I just made it with wood instead of with the colors. I can customize the x-axis, add grid lines if I want. I can do the y-axis. I could also go in under arrange, and I've showed arrange before. That's where if you have other objects on there, you could move some forward, move some backwards. So that's adding the chart. I'm going to now go in, show you how we can add shapes. So I'm going to select a shape. Again, the basic colors are going to be tied to your theme. I just want to go in, let's use red. Maybe I want to put a red arrow. Once that arrow's in place, I could, just like anything else, I could drag it by grabbing a hold of any of these little dots on the side. This little green dot here allows me to change kind of the thickness of my arrow. I can use two fingers to rotate it. I can touch one finger and I can move it around. I can go up to the format painter. I can change my style. I have some style options if I want to give it a little bit of a shadow. Notice how my shadow will change depending on, and my reflection depending on which way I have my arrow going. I could add text to it if I want. And then I also have the arrange options. So that is a quick overview of the different types of things that you can add between, I showed you media in a previous video, but here we have tables, charts, and shapes.